When Moses returned to Egypt to free the slaves and demand, "Let my people go," the slaves, they didn't seem to care. They had grown accustomed to their lives in slavery. Their energy had been sapped and their will depleted. The sting of the taskmaster's whip not only inflicted pain, it beat their spirits down as well, driving hope from their souls and joy from their hearts. Even Moses' arrival and his standing before Pharaoh demanding his people's freedom did not awaken their spirits. Moses imagined that when the children of Israel learned what was happening in Pharaoh's palace, there would be excitement and renewed energy. But that was not to be. When Moses stood before the Israelites and declared, "You are free. Now follow me. I will lead you to a new land," the children of Israel were not stirred. Their eyes did not sparkle. They would follow, but not with joy, but with resignation. They followed Moses much like they followed the demands of Pharaoh, not because they wanted to, but that it was required of them. They followed Moses because they were told to do so. Pharaoh declared that they must leave or they would die, so the children of Israel did what they must. They followed. As Moses led the children of Israel through the desert, he grew ever more concerned. He could sense through their actions and in their demeanor that though they were now physically free, their spirits were still shackled. The children of Israel were more like empty vessels which followed Moses because they did not know what else to do. If Moses verged left, the column behind him moved left. If he turned to the right, everyone turned right. There was no independence. There was only one leader and many followers. Moses knew. He knew that this wasn't good. To be free in body but not in mind was not enough. Moving from one leader to another was not sufficient. Before they had been enslaved, the children of Israel had been known to be a rebellious lot. Even their own leaders they were known to have questioned and challenged. It was this spirit that the people lost in Egypt. It was this spirit Moses wanted to reignite. For he knew true survival did not depend on obedience. It required questioning authority and not settling for old assumption. A willingness to be bold and creative as the future unfolded. For the children of Israel to thrive and grow, they must know their minds and be willing to stand up for what they believed in. For the children of Israel to truly be free, it was their will and their minds that needed to be unchanged. Only when they could think and even question and rebel on their own could they truly know independence. If Moses had only led them out of Egypt but never gave them their ability to embrace their freedom, he knew he had failed. So from his perch, Moses watched as the children of Israel embraced the future. He had left them on their own at the base of the mountain. He told them he was going to leave and return, but he wasn't sure when. And he knew even as he spoke those words, he wasn't going to return quickly. No, he was going to leave and wait and wait and wait to see what the children of Israel were going to do without a leader. For days, even weeks, he waited, but nothing. The children of Israel simply milled about, quietly, even sheepishly. Even when their provisions ran low, they accepted silently. No anger, no questioning. Moses began to wonder, how long could this last? And he began to fear that nothing would change, that the children of Israel were lost, that their enslavement had forever transformed them, and they would never be a strong-willed people again. And finally, after weeks of waiting, a spirit was beginning to awaken with the hearts of the children of Israel. At first, it was but a few who voiced doubts about Moses and began to question his leadership. And with the passing of each hour, the voices grew louder and more joined in. Finally, the entire camp was encompassed. We don't need Moses. We can chart our own future. We can find our own way. Aaron, he fashioned the golden calf as a symbol of this newfound freedom. And Moses couldn't have been happier. He knew This is what the children of Israel needed. He was more confident now that they could build their own future. The children of Israel were taking their future into their own hands, and Moses was thrilled. Moses smiled as the children of Israel danced about the golden calf. He could see it from his perch on the mountain, though they couldn't see him. And Aaron, he was in all his glory dancing about the golden calf. And Moses swayed as he listened to the chorus of voices rising up in one song. But in time, Moses knew he was going to have to descend the mountain. But before he did, he wanted to make sure that the children of Israel's energy and sense of independence had reached a fervor pitch. He wanted to be certain that it was strong and that nothing he or anyone else could do would ever extinguish it again. Yes, Moses knew that he was going to descend, and he was going to have to give them rules and standards to live by. But even so, he wanted to be certain that they would not simply follow those rules because he gave them. In truth, Moses wanted questions. He wanted the children of Israel to push back. He wanted the stiff-necked people to be skeptical, even of him. When Moses smashed the tablets after descending the mountain, he laughed inside. He wanted to get the children of Israel's attention, but more, he wanted them to know that sometimes the most important thing one must do is smash the rules.